We spend pretty much our entire lives clicking, swiping, and tapping away on software. But do you ever just stop and wonder what actually makes it all work? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to look at the invisible blueprint that separates an app that you can rely on from one that just drives you crazy. Okay, let's get into it.
Come on, you've been there, right? We all have. You're about to make that super important payment, or you're posting the perfect photo, or maybe you're just about to beat the final boss in a game, and then, poof, it's gone. The app freezes, or worse, just completely closes on you. It feels so random, so unlucky. But what if I told you it's not luck at all? What if it's the totally predictable result of someone not having a plan?
So, what makes software break? The root of the problem usually isn't some huge, dramatic mistake. Nah, it's more like digital chaos. It's what happens when you try to build something complex without a clear, structured plan. And that's where the real cost of unstructured, fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants development starts to show up. Think about it like building a house without a blueprint. A builder might just assume a wall can hold a certain amount of weight or that a window will fit perfectly into a frame. Well, in software, developers might assume you'll always have a perfect internet connection or that you'd never dream of typing an emoji into a password field. Each of those tiny, untested assumptions becomes a potential crack in the foundation of the software.
Okay, so if chaos is the villain of our story, who's the hero? Well, it's a disciplined process, a strategy called test, analysis, and design. And this isn't about just randomly clicking around hoping to find a bug. No, this is a systematic way to build confidence and quality right into the software from the very beginning.
And this right here, this gets to the very heart of it. On one side, you've got what a lot of people think testing is, just kind of clicking around aimlessly. It's super inefficient, and you know it's going to miss the really critical deep-down bugs. It just creates uncertainty. But on the other side, you have the professional approach, a deliberate, systematic plan that is designed to methodically root out issues and build real, solid confidence.
So what is it, formally? Well, the official definition is the activity where general testing objectives are transformed into tangible test conditions and test cases. Okay, I know that sounds a little dense, a bit technical, but all it really means is turning a vague goal, like, hey, make sure the login works, into a super concrete, detailed action plan. That's it.
So how does this actually play out in the real world? Well, the pros follow a really clear game plan. It's not some big secret. It's a repeatable, 7-step process that takes them all the way from a list of ideas to a fully tested piece of software that you can trust. So let's walk through that game plan.
This game plan has 7 key moves. First, you review the foundation. You got to make sure the blueprints are solid and everyone's on the same page. Then you evaluate for testability, because let's be real, you can't test a vague idea. Next, you identify and prioritize what's most critical to check first. Once you know your priorities, you design the high-level test cases and figure out all the necessary data you'll need to run them. Then, you build the stadium to play in. You design the test environment. And finally, you tie it all together with the most crucial last step. You ensure full traceability.
Now that phrase, bidirectional traceability, I know, it sounds incredibly complicated, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple, and it's so powerful. All it means is that you can draw a straight line from every single requirement in the blueprint to a specific test that checks it. And you can look at any test and trace it right back to the requirement it's supposed to fulfill. Why does that matter? It means nothing gets missed, no gaps, no, oops, we forgot to check that moments.
Now, to really get this whole process, you just need to know 3 key terms. This is the language that testers and developers use to talk to each other. And once you understand it, you've got an insider's view of how quality software actually gets made.
Okay, let's break this down. The test basis, that's your blueprint. It's all the documents that describe what the software is supposed to do. A test condition is like a strategic goal, something like, we need to verify that a user can log in. And then, the test case is the specific tactic. Okay, enter a valid username with an invalid password, and then verify that the system shows an incorrect password error. See? That's how a big general idea becomes a specific, actionable test. Brilliant.
So let's bring it all back home. We started with the sheer chaos of a crashing app. We saw how a simple lack of planning creates that chaos. This whole structured process, this 7-step game plan, is the perfect antidote. It's how teams literally go from a place of uncertainty and frustration to one of genuine confidence in the software they're building.
If you take one thing away from our explainer today, let it be this. Good software is not an accident. The seamless, reliable tech you use every single day, it doesn't happen by luck. It doesn't just happen because of brilliant coders working alone. No, it is the direct result of this hidden, deliberate, and structured plan.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. The next time you effortlessly book a flight, or you pay a bill in 2 seconds, or you share a photo with family, and the app just works, take a second. Instead of just taking it for granted, maybe you'll see the ghost of the blueprint behind it all, that invisible, structured plan that made that whole, smooth experience possible.